Ding. And we are live. Wow. Welcome to season 2.
Wait, you came back? Really?
You
For some reason.
I don't know what's wrong with these people.
I wouldn't have.
They have wonderful taste is what it is.
We missed
Undoubtedly.
you.
That must be
You
it.
did.
I missed you.
I missed you more.
Apparently it's a
Welcome.
competition.
It is a competition. But welcome to Quest
Welcome.
the Soaring City, Season 2, saying hi to Valerith and the Starfall Spire Jailbirds once again. If you're just joining us, this is a wonderful time to jump onto our story. We're going to be dealing with new things, lovely times, and I understand a birthday today? Or is it 2 birthdays? We'll find out.
Second.
Dun dun
Thanks,
dun.
I hate it.
Bro
Yeah,
is the
don't like
Baron.
Don't like
What?
Let's start by saying who we are briefly, and saying who we're going to be playing. We'll deal with physical descriptions of those characters later. Give a light overview, the role, their kind of what they're about a little bit. You know, the stuff. And why don't we start with our illustrious Robert?
Why, hello. I am Robert. I will be playing Dr. Falvin Zanor, the doctor of the group, aka #heals. And, you know, big overview of him, you know, dying of horrible plague, wants to cure world of all disease, but especially horrible plague. And I'm gonna give this over to Megan, who's right below me.
Oh, it's me. Hello. I am Megan. And I play Lena, our spy / resident garbage pile, who is just an absolute delight, despite being, or maybe because she is a complete disaster. Yeah, #2 hit points. The doctor keeps her alive and has had to many times, but it's probably fine. So I'll toss it over, and I'm not even going to try to figure out which side she's on. So I'm going to toss it to Izza, who's beside me. So it's this way. It might be this way.
Oh, I knew it
Might be
worked.
this way.
Good job. Hey, I'm Izza. I will be playing Vanguard Faris Munir, formerly of the Solari. She is the party's invoker. She's the party's invoker, which means she does cool stuff with weapons and magic. What, Nat? You want to say something?
Oh, I was just applying emphasis for you. But while I'm here,
Oh, thank
also
you.
could you mention, like, what is being the Vanguard? What's that about?
So Faris has been given the post of Vanguard of Valerith, which means she is in charge of keeping the city safe. For some reason, she's been entrusted with this job title, and we're
Was
going to
there a
find out
rigorous
how well
interviewing
she's
process?
doing it. No, literally just got offered the job by a lovely lady named Alika. Faris is rather fond of, but would never admit it. Ever.
Ever.
But yeah. She can... Sorry. Megan in the chat once again. So Faris does cool things with both fighting and magic, and can kind of come off as rather serious, but she means well. And yeah, I think that's about it. So I'm going to pass it over to Nunu next.
Cool, and I shall take it, and I shall speak about who? None else than Zeke, the party's Charmblade. And for those of you that have read the quest book, and might be thinking, what's a Charmblade? I don't even know. Something we made up that was supposed to start as the mixture of a fighter and a spy. But due to story reasons that happened in Season 1, he has acquired a magnificent artifact called the Wand of Lorelei that has steered him towards the path of wizardry. So now I guess Charmblade means charismatic, good at fighting, and casting spells, I guess. But yeah, Zeke is an ex-vigilante, not that long ago moved to the city of Valarith, involved in the revolution, pre-season 1, this is backstory stuff, and he was partners with Lena, so Megan's character. They were a vigilante duo, but then that kind of fell apart a little bit and things were a bit shaken for a while, but I think that at the end of season 1, things are looking quite brighter, or so Lena thinks. And yeah, I think that's a good recap of who the persona of Zeke is. One of the many personas, but the original one. So I'm gonna throw it up, I think. Is it Sam?
Hey, hi, thank you. Hey, I am Sam. I go by they, them pronouns, and I will be playing our naturalist Ro, who goes by they, any pronouns. And it's my birthday today. Yeah, I'm very excited. It's technically my first birthday, I guess, because I haven't really had one before. So I'm excited to see what this is all about. And I guess I could pass it over to Nat.
Hi, I'm the guide. You know those 5 characters we just heard about? I'm everyone else. Mostly. Yeah. A little bit of background. The city of Valarith is a flying city that soars across the lands, and they've just recently escaped from an attempt by the Empire to seize the city for militaristic means. They were successful in evading. However, the city undergoed some damage. They are laden with trade and damage from their fight, and they had to limp to temporary refuge within Imperial borders. Sam, where is the city now? Safe for a short time.
The city is currently in Sombermore Canyon, which is a very large, deep canyon that is full of a very heavy, dense fog and sort of cloud. So the city was able to sort of sink just below the cloud cover. And is sort of hovering, or perhaps we had to land. Sam, I'm not sure how extensive those, damages might have been, but at least for the time being, it seems a safe place.
Yeah, love it. Sombermore Canyon. Is it like... Is the fog explained? Is it like a naval fog, or is it just like this canyon's always been mysteriously foggy? We don't really know why.
There's nobody's quite sure what is caused by it. I don't know if players would necessarily be aware of, any sort of legends or myths about the area.
Well, I think there's like some really old legend that like it flows out of this cave hidden in the fog, and it's actually the breath of some sleeping giant. But that's obviously a myth, right?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
kids'
like,
tales. It's like a cautionary tale,
Yeah. So the city is floating and is hiding, but can't. It's somewhat damaged. There's a lot of the superficial damage was able to be fixed in flight, but some more dire problems persist. What can't be fixed until Valarith has a safe place to land for repairs?
So during the attack at the end of last season, Valarith was violently smashed into the ground, at which point a lot of the underside of the city was damaged, and on the underneath of the city there are sort of like glyphs or runes that control the city's stability during flight, and those were damaged on one side of the city quite severely. So that means that the city currently can't fly above a certain altitude without becoming unstable and quite literally tilting to one side, which is not great for a flying city. So definitely need to stop and repair that.
Architecture is not really generally built for that drastic of a angle change. Yeah, it's fun. I like that. So as our camera, so to speak, soars over this giant bed of fog yawning between two far split canyon walls, there's this dull light, almost like the sun in its general direction on an overcast day. And as we dive down into the fog, we're discover that that source of light is the beacon that shines at the top of Valerith. One that was not lit until during the fight when the Iron Eye was used to control its position in the other facilities of the city. Now, as we're diving into that fog, we learned in these intervening 2 weeks since that escape that there was some sort of unexpected, fantastical feature of our Soaring City that the Iron Eye was able to enable that we didn't know about before. And Megan, what was that?
Yeah, so Valerith is made up of a series of very tall towers, because when you don't have much room to move out, you move up. And a collection of the tallest towers in Valerith, when a certain function on the Iron Eye is activated, kind of creates a shield that it, like, from the tops of the towers kind of like create a netting that can go down over the city. But it can't be used when the city is flying. The city has to be stopped in order for it to maintain that kind of energy to hold the shield up.
It can dome.
Yeah, you can dome it, but it takes so much energy that the city can't fly and be domed at the same time.
I love it. That's what we're gonna call spicy.
Captain, we're rerouting energy to the shields.
This is slowly turning into Star
Thank
Trek.
you.
No one be alarmed. Everyone stay calm. All
When the
right.
city tilts, everyone has to do their best, like, oh no, I'm holding on for dear life impression.
Ah. All right.
Make your desk
So as
really
we dive
hard.
and hit, as we dive down into the streets of Valerith, people are going about their day to day. Things are different. The city is hiding and things are dire, but people are not forgetting their lives. Markets are still open. People still move around, greet their neighbors, go about their day to day. And along that day to day, someone has gotten a bike. Our lovely friend Zakar, your mail carrier who shares this disease that the doctor has, is riding along at high speed along his route through the city, tossing out papers of the new Valerith Sun, the headline Heroes of Starfall Spire.
Cute.
So, Isa again. Oh, I got Isa another one. This paper is written by the Valerith Sun, head writer, and Baron. What did she write about, y'all, that you haven't quite read it yet, but you're gonna rather she didn't include?
Aaron, huh? Sure, okay.
Yeah.
So Faris actually found the article frustrating for a few reasons. Two main ones. Firstly, the title itself. She wishes that the Valerith Sun hadn't published the party's names and address for the whole city to know, considering that they had some issues with security breaches in their own home recently. But she also personally strongly disliked that the article referred to her as Faris of the Solari, and speculated as to whether her sudden appointment to Vanguard means that Elika has negotiated for Valerith to have the official support of Shamsara, which is the city that the Solari are from.
And oh god, I wonder if we'll ever find out why Ferris wouldn't be happy with that connection.
I don't think it'll ever come up.
Probably not. Yeah. Excellent. However, there is a more somber note as these are getting flung about left and right. The city recently lost a lot of lives. 439 lives were lost, and the city is currently in mourning. It's only been a couple weeks. Many are still wound up because grief and loss are a process. But Nunu, how are those lives being mourned out in the public?
In the second day after the fight, while the city was still soaring, trying to find somewhere stable to stay for a while, a group of children that had lost their uncle grabbed a piece of cloth, a quite large piece of cloth, purple in color, and just tied it to a broken tube at the bottom of the hangs, the lower part of the city of Valarith. And as the city was flying, the piece of cloth was just soaring in the wind, leaving a colorful trail behind. And after that first thing, eventually more people started coming and adding different sizes of strips of cloth of different colors, of different with different writings, different textures, and different patterns. And eventually, the officials of the city decided that everyone lost in the battle should have one, and started by distributing these pieces of cloth and going from house to house, make sure who was lost and who wasn't, and allowing the families of the people that were lost to choose their color and their pattern and their texture, and to go down and remind them that way. So that way, 439 strands of cloth were hung from the ruins of the hangs in memoriam of the lost people, and one larger in the colors of the city, which I think you decided on them already, or am I mistaken?
The colors of the city.
Yeah.
Well, it was the sort of like the colors of the revolutionaries, which might now be the colors of the city.
Sure.
Which were sort of like a deep purple and green emblazoned with gold.
Okay. So there's a larger strand of cloth above all others, thicker and with two colors, so deep purple and green, that flies longer alongside all the others, representing the lost. That represents the spirit that was also lost in the city, because every time someone dies, a bit of the city dies with them.
That was fast feels.
That was Fast Feels. All right.
Season 2, everyone.
Season 2. Our story begins in earnest as Zakara rockets right by Starfall Spire on his bike, yeeting a paper onto against the door of the Batinga's Bakery, which has a large sign that says "Grand Reopening," and the date is for tomorrow. The door opens, the paper is grabbed, and as this lovely, kind of spiky-haired, dark-skinned friend makes his way up to the apartment where our intrepid little heroes, Jailbirds, are, we're going to skip on up where it always begins, up in the telescope room. Up at the very top, the observatory, where you can just see out into the fog right now. And Lena is.
That tracks.
I mean, it's really good to have some consistency.
Yeah. So, so Lena is up in the telescope where she generally hangs out, usually at night because she barely sleeps. But
It's late.
right now,
It's not night, but it's late.
all right, that tracks. Yeah. I would imagine she's been trying to like see any stars or anything through the fog, like knowing that the fog is very thick and probably won't, but is just very intrigued by it. But tonight she's finishing up a present for a certain feral child in a location that said certain feral child will likely not come poking around.
And while Lena is working on that, can you tell me what our little sad girl looks like?
Yeah, our little sad girl. So she is little. She's barely over 5 feet. She's like 5'1", 5'2". She has long, dark brown hair that's kind of wavy and moderately unkempt, that's just kind of pulled away from her face. Very strong brows, and she's wearing right now, because it's night, she's probably in some kind of, I imagine, like the Inquisitor's pajamas in Dragon Age Inquisition, when you're just like cruising around Skyhold and like they're still adventure-y, but they're comfy. And most notably, her right arm, from a few inches above the elbow down, is mechanical, made out of ivory, or an ivory-like material that's engraved with floral patterns, and all of the gears and everything are a gold color. So yeah, from like mid bicep down is this mechanical arm, and she's just kind of tinkering away on this little thing that she's making.
While you're working, two things happen at almost the same time. One, you hear the somewhat far off thump of the front door close. It's very distinctive. It's one of those doors that you can always tell it's that door. And you catch out of the corner of your eye, you haven't been able to see a star the entire time you've been in Sombermore Canyon. But you see one little twinkle, a light in the sky.
Well, that's cool.
Nuna?
As quickly as a star appears in the sky, it disappears the moment right after, as behind Lena materializes a person. First of all, just a basic shape, the outline of a human being, and slowly coalescing into the transparent form of Zeke, that slowly gains corporeal form and settles. Behind Lena stands a meter 80 tall person dressed in leather armor with a metal plating with flames embossed on it on one shoulder and a half cape on the other, holding an empty scabbard to sides. Stays there for a while, looks at it, starts unclasping the scabbard. As the camera kind of pans up, I see this individual is wearing a blue mask, and as he pulls it down, you see a tan-skinned individual with a hair knot tying his curly dark hair on top, except for two strands that fall over his face, which the tips of are completely electric blue. And as the man takes the first step, he, in a low tone, calls to Lena. My, if it isn't my little bird.
Oh, I should have known that was you. I haven't seen a star in weeks.
Well, that's only natural with all this fog. I guess I'm the only light that the sky sees.
Well, sure think highly of yourself, but I won't disagree.
Aha! If you don't disagree, then we know it to be true.
Smiling faces. On what are we doing? With the smiling faces, the camera drops through the floor into the living room, where Ro has been ousted, told to leave for a little while, so they could get set up. And when there is Ferris and Falwyn, as well as Mr. Batinga, just closing the front door, coming in with a large stack of baked goods in boxes and the paper on the very top. As he comes in, he looks up and calls forward, "I want to see this." And we camera over to first Falwyn.
Yeah, so you see a tall, thin man, about 6'7", just over 2 meters tall, clad in a long black robe and always wearing a white bone plague doctor's mask, often with a large brimmed hat upon his head. And he looks over. This is... What is it? Let me see. begins to step towards Mr. Batinga.
As you reach for the paper, we look over at Ferris. Isa?
So Faris is a young woman in her early 20s, stands at about 6'1" and has a muscular physique, and her warm brown skin is adorned in intricate golden tattoos in patterns that evoke the sun, from her forehead down to her feet, and her eyes are the same golden color, and her wavy shoulder-length hair fades from a bright red to a golden tone as well. On her upper lip is a scar that's slightly faded. I feel like, given that she's recently taken up these duties as the Vanguard, she's maybe only recently gotten home and is so still wearing her armor, and she still wears the armor of her former station as a Solari, which is chainmail with golden plate armor interspersed on it and sort of pointed pauldrons, also adorned in patterns similar to those of her tattoos. And the armor is kind of slightly scuffed and scratched and rusted, but still looks brilliantly golden. But on the long red scarf she wears around her neck, she has the Vanguard badge still pinned onto it, wearing that quite proudly. And she also inquisitively walks over to Mr. Batinga, curious.
You see from the doctor's side, the paper headline, Heroes of Starfall Spire. There's a picture of your house with just the doctor out front. He looks like he's just coming back home. You can see there's a wonderful silhouette in black and white of the plague doctor's mask.
Love to imagine hunched over, since for the weeks he's been going out to heal people and just tired.
This again.
Yeah. I do say stuff. Writing this.
I understand it gives people hope to latch onto, but I just would rather have our privacy, you know?
Yeah. And strangely enough, the asshole did a lot, too. It's not written in here.
Well, there's other benefits to being gone. Let's look on the bright side. You're popular. Maybe they'll help you out when you work, Ferris. Mr. Batinga says.
Yeah, that's true. And we have you back as well.
Yeah.
Which
I'm glad
very
to be
happy
back.
about.
Thanks for never forgetting about me.
Of course. I mean, what would Ro do without you?
We'll probably have second-rate donuts. That's what I think. Speaking of which, and he plumps the boxes down on your coffee table. We have some preparations to get done.
Yes, we do.
As we pan out of the room, out through the fog, and out above the canyon again, we see one lone flying ship approaching the canyon. Nuna. A diplomat approaches with an offer of a place for Valerith to enact proper repairs, safe from the Empire. Where are they from?
This diplomatic convoy is headed by a woman, and it appears that they wear traditional garbs from the city-state of Suravane.
Ooh. Do we know anything more about them?
Well, yes, in conversation between them, we can catch glimpses of it, and a name. Emissary Theodora Eimrichdotter. Emissary of the Grand Arbiter.
Ooh. I'm sure they won't be important.
No, not at all.
And then we smash cut, to use the cinematic lingo, into a view of a sewer entrance. It is a foggy, it's starting to get dark, it's kind of spooky, and you think you hear maybe a bird? Maybe a caw, maybe a hoo of an owl. crawling out from that sewer entrance is one lone mouse. As they come up surface side, they demorph from this little tiny creature. And Sam, why don't you tell me what we see?
Ro takes form, sort of transforming from the four-legged mouse figure into an upright, walking on two legs person, very Animorph style in terms of just sort of everything sort of smoothly reshaping and transforming as they're moving. And you see a young child, maybe somewhere around 12, 13 years old, about 4'8" or so, with very suntanned and kind of weathered skin, even though they're so young. And they have this curly brown-red hair that's forming almost like a sort of floof of Hobbit-esque curls. But right now they have the sides done back in sort of like two rows of almost like Viking style braids that have yellow ribbons woven into them. And since the last time anybody has seen Ro, they've done a little bit of shopping with some assistance from Lena. And they are currently wearing a fitted bright yellow tunic that has suns embroidered all over it. And it has a brown leather belt around their waist where they have two daggers and their slingshot sheathed safely for a change. Their feet are no longer bare. They are wearing strappy flat brown sandals and are wearing pants. They have sort of dark blue, like capri length leggings. They also have on their arm on their left arm, a long, like opera length glove, it looks like, where the fingers have been cut off so that they can still use their hand easily. And they are no longer wearing the same wolf-headed pelts that they had. They have a proper cloak on now, but it is trimmed with a very familiar looking gray fur. And as they run and they pull the hood up, it still has the little ears on top. And there's a necklace of like wolf teeth around their neck, as well as a costume mask of like a bright blue large beaked bird that's just sort of bouncing as they run. And they're hustling it back to home.
As you're hustling back, you hear the ring of a bicycle ringer, a little shing shing. And your gaze is called to the side where you can view into the very spooky, foggy cemetery in this part of the town.
Oh.
Coming out from across it is a familiar figure, Zakar, on his bike. As he whips right by and goes, "They're ready for you back home."
Oh, okay, thank you. All right, I guess I should hurry then. I'll start hustling back. I think about making myself run faster, but I'm like, let Zakar get there first, so he feels good about himself.
You could turn into a wolf, you can just get really, really fast, but nah, let him go.
Yeah, I'll let the humans feel like they have a chance.
Adorable. All right, so throwing it to everyone but Sam now. What does the main room of your little apartment look like prepared for Ro's party?
Oh, man.
Well, at the very least, the doctor has lit some incense of herbs to make sure that it smells very nice and appetizing. And something that would make you want to, eat donuts.
That's just existing.
Faris is definitely... Oh, sorry. Continue.
No, just... that's it.
Okay. Faris will have sort of strung up some decorations that are these sort of like... I'm gonna call them magical fairy lights. Basically,
Sure.
They're like, little strings of fairy lights that are lit up with magic, and they glow this like soft warm colors, but in sort of like different shades of like reds and yellows and purples and stuff, so it's like a very warm feeling in the room, but still like lit up and nice.
Yeah. See, I think so. Lena probably procured some streamers, like fabric streamers, and initially was thwarted because she's very small and can't hang them up as high as she wanted, but then just like was just tied a rope to the ceiling. It was just kind of crawling around. So I think there's like a central like paper lantern or something that Ferris put some of these lights into that's hanging like in the middle of the room, and then there are these streamers that kind of bow out from the center of the room to the corners. So it just kind of looks like, yeah, just like, so the whole ceiling is kind of covered in these like bright colored fabrics and lights, and it just looks really, just like really warm and pretty, like what Ro deserves.
Your infiltration skills have never been more central.
This is the highlight. Like, this is what I've trained for.
Same.
Every moment in my life has led to this.
Zeke let everyone else do their decorations, and then once it was finished, he just looked at it and goes, just rearranges everything into proper color patterns and right positions and whatnot, right angles, and then they're done.
Wow.
Nina's probably just like, why don't you just go back in the necklace if you're gonna shit on what we've done?
Look, you want this to be okay for the birthday or not? Is it a special date?
It looked fine.
Yeah, exactly. That's my problem. It can't just look fine. It needs to be perfect.
You hear Faris genuinely laugh from the kitchen where she is preparing some like traditional Shamsaran food for the party. Like baklava's and stuff.
I would say, please tell me there's kebabs.
Oh yeah, there's totally kebabs.
And
Yes.
we cannot forget, sitting on the living room table, Ro is very insistent on this. There is this little daisy in a planter, which is the plant that Ro talks to, named Poppy. At around this time, the door opens and Alika comes back with Tiny in tow. And we're kind of giving her a little scruffy scruff, and goes, "The other surprise is ready."
Oh, fantastic. Did you have a good time with the puppy?
Yeah. Always. She gives her a bunch more squishes, kneels down, and Tiny does the whole like, love me. As dogs always do. A few last little preparations, a little sound of busyness, more bickering between Lena and Zeke, as usual. It just brings the place alive. And Ro, you're in the hallway. You can hear a little bit of commotion inside. How do you feel?
I'm pretty excited because I don't, really know, I guess, too much what to expect. I only found out birthdays were like a thing because everybody else started talking about them when we passed a party outside the other week, and I'm just, I don't know. They said that it's when your pack gets together and everybody is really nice to you and you eat tasty things, and I'm excited about all of those things.
The doorknob's right in front of you. You kind of hear, you hear like a shush from somebody, and you hear all the commotion quiet.
I wait for a second and I just keep listening for a minute, and I'll sort of slowly open the door and peek around to see what it looks like. And my big green eyes get even bigger somehow, and I'll push the door open the rest of the way, and I just stand there with my one gloved hand and my non-gloved hand on my face, and I go, "Oh, it looks so cool!" And I'm gonna come right in. And for those just listening, my background is now balloons.
As is appropriate.
Happy birthday, Ro!
Oh, wow!
All right. So you're greeted with as much energy and love as we would have come to expect. And we jump forward a little bit. As you know, at first it's just a little hubbub, having a good time, being in a good mood. Maybe someone plays some music, maybe someone doesn't. But then you get to two very important aspects. The food and the presents. And
Ugh.
Ro, as it is your birthday, you get to decide which one comes first.
Oh, well, I don't know too much about presents, really. I've only gotten one before I don't have it anymore. So I think I'd like to see what that's all about first.
Yeah. Right. So there's a small pile of gifts, I imagine. Some, probably fewer than the actual gifts to be given, because I bet some of them are a little more, aren't the kind of wrapping on the table kind. Everett's there, Batinga's there, Lika's there, your little plant friend Poppy, and of course Tiny is curled up right by you.
Oh, I love it. I'll just sort of look around at everybody and be like, I don't know where to start. What do I do?
You just pick one and open it.
Okay. I'll run over and I'll just pick one.
Should we roll initiative to see who
Right?
gets to...
I'm like, I don't know how to describe what I'm seeing. So,
I feel.
Go ahead.
I feel Lena is an excitable sort. I feel like she probably like kind of scoots the box that has her present in it like closer, just like trying to be subtle and just being
Yeah.
like,
Choose one.
That's
Anyone.
just
That's
one.
actually really funny because I rolled and it landed on you anyway.
Oh, amazing.
Lena
okay.
and Megan both love presents.
All right. So we'll just sort of take it and like, do I tear? Or
just open it.
and I just start tearing it open.
All right, and say
I was gonna say, Megan,
inside.
what do we see inside?
Yeah. So it was like a smallish box, and inside the box is a little metal wolf, probably 3-4 inches tall, on a chain. It's like a little silver wolf. They have little blue gems for eyes, and there's like kind of like brushed metal like on its tummy, so like it looks like it's very fluffy. And Lena's like, all right, so this wolf I made for you, and if you want to, and it's got like a little collar with like this teeny tiny little bell on it, and it's like, so when you ring the bell on its collar, and she kind of like reaches forward and like jingles the bell, and a wolf appears that's like a little bit, that's like bigger than Tiny because it's like a adult sized wolf, that's like white and gray, appears, and it's looks pretty real, but you can tell like that it's kind of like shimmery, and it's just like running around the room like doing all sorts of crazy stuff, and then she'll reach forward and just like still the little bell. It's like
You right before you freeze it, it was just leaping for those streamers you strung about.
It's like ding. So if you ring the bell, it makes the wolf come out. So if you ever are in like a pinch and you need like a distraction or something, it'll just start kind of making things making a little bit of a mess. So yeah, and I have a little thing, and I'll put it in the Discord so you can see the item card. So yeah, it's a little, and it's like attached to a chain, so you can wear it around your neck, but it's kind of big, so you could like tuck it in your bag and stuff. But yeah.
Thank you. And still puts it on even if it's too big to, really function as a good pendant for them. So I just imagine it's this oversized metal thing hanging from their neck now. But they'll hop up from their chair and run over and like hug you right around your leg. Ro has really only recently learned about hugs from last season, and they are now giving them a lot.
Yeah, Lena will kind of just like wrap with her mechanical arm, just like real close, like real tight. It's like, happy birthday.
Thank you, Lena. Oh gosh. Okay, so that's presents.
That's presents.
You get more of them.
Oh, these are all for me? Okay.
Well, yeah, we all got you one.
Yeah. And Everett, the little mousy-haired, gap-toothed little boy, it's about Ro's age. He's like drums on a slightly bigger one, and it makes a rattle as if there's like marbles maybe inside a wooden box.
Ooh. I'm gonna see what this is. I'll go over and I'll unwrap Everett's gift.
And there is indeed a pretty plain wooden box on the inside, which you gotta unlatch at the front. And when you open it up properly, everyone looking can see sharp caltrops poking out and a very thick bundle of rope and some mouse traps, a couple like pulley wheels in what is effectively a trap making kit. And it looks to be a semi-dangerous one at that.
Oh, neat.
You like it?
This is gonna be super helpful. Yeah! We can keep everything nice and safe now. Thank you, Everett! And I'll get up and I give him a big hug, too.
Everett kind of like hug.
He gets
Slightly
like, jabbed
awkward,
with
slightly
a
gangled.
wolf pendant. That's too big.
Naturally.
It probably makes all of my hugs very uncomfortable now. Okay.
I blame Lena.
Yep. What should I go for next? This one. I'll pick, I guess, I don't know, the smallest thing that's still there. Sam's just trying to think of ways to pick a thing.
Zake's is a
some
little
that's-
pouch, maybe this size, so I don't know if that's the
That's
smallest
probably
one or
it then.
not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably it.
I'll pick that one up.
So it's you open a small leathery velvet pouch, and inside you put your hand in, take it out, and there's a cylindrical object, hollow inside. At the tip of it is a carving of a wolf's mouth, also open. And on the face of it, there's two holes, and on the top, there's also an opening that connects to the wolf's mouth. And as you touch it, it feels like it's made of bone, almost, but it's shimmering, almost with a metallic feel to it. And where you think there would be cracks in the bone, it's filled with a deep purple color. It seems to be encrusted there somehow. And as you start opening and looking at it, Zeg kind of turns to you. Well, you certainly got an eye for it. It picked one of the best, if I must say. You know what that is?
It's really pretty, but I don't know what it is. It's got a wolf on it. I like it.
Why don't you try blowing on it? As Ro does that, no sound comes out of it whatsoever, but Tiny's ears just go whoop, and just looks around.
Woof.
What happened?
Do it again.
Hi, Tiny. Are you okay? Wait, can
And
Tiny hear it?
Yeah, we can't, but that's just for Tiny's ears. And other dogs and wolves, they'll also hear it. It's a whistle.
That'll be so cool.
Tiny jumps in Zake's lap. Like full wolf in lap, thinks it's a lap dog, just and face lick.
Okay, all right, Tiny, all right. So you might have to train Tiny to understand that it's coming from you, but as you can see, there's 2 holes on the face of it, so you can try and train her as well. Use different
Ooh.
sounds. Maybe each sound will mean something different. It's up to you. Use your imagination.
That'll be so neat. That'll be good for when she's too far away to hear me. All right, Tiny, we're
Exactly.
gonna practice some stuff later.
And it's
Thank
also
you.
made. It's made of something I brought from the other place, Ro.
Really? It's from far away.
Leave that to your imagination for now. Perhaps in the future I'll tell you the story behind it.
Did you catch it? Whatever it came from? Is that where it came from?
Maybe? I don't know.
Oh, neat. I blow on it, but like softly, so I'm not blowing out Tiny's ears. But I'm like boop 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 like, over and over with the whistle for a little bit. I don't know if there's more packages, but I'll pick another one.
When you go, Batinga goes, well, mine will be deteriorating over time, so I think maybe this should be next. And he pulls out what is a cylindrical, like, jar shape wrapped in, paper wrapping. I hope it's tasty.
Tasty. I open up the paper, and what is it?
It is homemade ice cream. And as you're opening it, Batinga says, it's cold, but it's sweet. I've never tried it before. I hope it's good.
Ice cream? I twist it open and I just sort of like look in it and I smell it and yeah.
As you're about to poke it, he holds out a spoon, mercifully.
I'm like, okay. I take it and I scoop up like a big thing of it and I eat it.
I think by now Batinga would know what flavors Ro likes besides donut.
Surely. Yeah. Ro definitely has become very fond of chocolatey things. I think chocolate and like fruits that aren't from their area of like, climate are very exciting to them.
So I think it's like double chocolate, chocolate chunks and chocolate and flavor with a swirl of raspberry in it.
Oh, this is so good. My head hurts.
Which is just what Nat wants right now. Oh, that's a brain freeze. Just it'll go away.
Okay.
It looks at Ferris. Can you solve that? You're like the sun.
I mean, I wouldn't want to scold them, but
That
be
hurts
fine.
my head.
they'll be fine. It's Ro. Like, they'll be fine.
It's so good, Mr. Bottega. Thank you.
And don't ruin your appetite. There's cake later.
Hey, I give him a hug and he gets a really cold lick up his arm. Thank you so much. These are all best presents. What's this one? And I'll pick another one if there's anything still
So
wrapped.
there is, I believe, a doctor, a Ferris, and one other.
Okay.
I believe the doctors would be the biggest. If you're going by kid logic of grab big.
Sure, I did a small one before, so I'll grab a big one this time. I'll go over and be like,
Medium large.
what is this one?
Oh, that one is from me. Go ahead, open it.
Tear.
So, as you open it, inside, you see... It's something that probably looks a little odd at first. It's 3 pieces of wood that come up into like a triangle shape and then seem to have like racks across it. And it's not huge. It's like desk sized, but it's big enough. And the doctor looks at you and goes, that right there is an herb drying kit. You can actually use it to dry herbs that you have found. And it works very well with this. And he reaches into his robe and pulls out a book and hands it over to you. and what you see is basically a nice brown leather bound book that has basically this stitching into it that looks like a leaf, and across it says herbs for youngsters in golden in golden text.
Oh my god.
And he goes, you've been learning, and you seem to have some kind of an interest in the books that I've had, so I thought maybe you would like something that would help you find and understand herbs. And I got something a little extra special from a new friend of mine. And he reaches into his robes one more time and pulls out just this little pouch. He goes, this is an herb pouch, where you can put the herbs you find in it to bring it home for later when you want to try it. And he just kind of like puts the pouch up against the book, and the book gets sucked into the pouch. You can store your book inside of it.
So I can make things little and learn how to help people feel better too. I love it. And Rose sort of snaps their costume bird mask on and goes to give the doctor a hug.
Doctor just pats Ro on the head. It is very good. Yes, you can use that to help people.
Yeah, I'm gonna make the best things.
Alika pats her lap a couple times. Says, well, I think I might have something to help with that, because if that's a little difficult to read, I know you're still learning, these might help. And she picks up a present that's wrapped. It's like a box of sheet protectors in shape, you know, but it's wrapped in probably not sheet protectors.
I'll go over it. I'll open that up. What's this?
And as you open it up and open up the plain brown box, cardboard box on the inside, you open up to find a small stack of graphic novels from the Empire. The one on top depicts a shape-shifting protagonist who has the ability to turn into animals to fight, you know, ne'er-do-wells and all that. And as you flip through, there's like 3 or 4 different ones, each a different story with a different, you know, protagonist hero.
This is so neat. Look at that. And I'm just like not able to read it really yet, but I'm pointing at pictures as I'm flipping through it.
Stories like these helped me learn to read when I was little, so I thought maybe it might help you.
This is so neat, Alika. Thank you. And I'll go jump up and give her a hug. I'm gonna learn to read the
Gives you a
ball.
pat on the back. And with the pat, there's a thump from outside, and just a nice courteous knock, but just 2.
I'll go get the door because I'm like, oh, keep going. I'll figure out who that is. Do we have a peephole by any chance?
No, absolutely not.
You'd think we would have got one installed.
As well as like many locks and security measures.
Nope.
just so much scary. Yeah. So I'm just gonna like crack the door and just kind of like pop out. Like
on the ground is a medium-sized, very astutely wrapped, like very formally wrapped, with nice clean corners, a patterned package with a gilded gold and blue bow.
Is there a
There
card?
is a very plain card on the top. It only reads "Happy Birthday."
I'm going to leave the package. I'm going to take the card from the package.
The
You
words
just leave-
are
take
printed, not. I'm just saying, like the words on the card are printed, not handwritten.
Okay.
Just so you know, like on a press.
I'm going to open the card and see if it says who it's from.
It just says "Happy Birthday." No, it's like a very plain, doesn't even open the card. It just says "Happy
it's
Birthday."
just a no card.
There's no name.
All right, I'm gonna scoot it inside. Like,
It's kind of heavy.
Somebody left a present on the doorstep, but it's not signed from anyone, so I don't quite trust digging into it. Not to be a paranoid sort, but
No, I'm with you on that one.
entire city knows where we live now. So,
Yeah. Do you mind if we open that one row?
is that all right?
No, that's okay. I don't know who would send me something. All my pack is here.
Yeah, well, let's take a look, and I'm just gonna like extend the blade from my arm and cut the ribbon.
Sure. And as you
Not
open it
fiddling
up,
with
you
knots.
find that inside the facade of the box shape, very formal box shape, it's got like cardboard to reinforce it, and it's actually a treasure chest in shape. You know, like the kind that you might put on like a wardrobe and put a bunch of jewelry inside.
Yeah.
And that has its own latch, which is currently latched but not locked. Do you open that?
Yep.
All right. And as you open it up, on a beautiful royal blue pillow is a small, well, actually, I guess for a crystal orb, it's quite sizely. And as you can see, this little pinnacle of light in the center. And you recognize this after the suspicion fades for a moment as a light trap. This is a little magic glass orb that's used to effectively store pictures, and then you can later have the pictures project like a photograph, except it's in like 3-dimensional light, so you could like walk through the photograph. It's for memories.
All right.
Or
So I'll
extortion.
close the chest back and walk over to Ro and be like, "It seems to be all right. There's nobody signed the card. It just says happy birthday, but I assume it's for you." And I'll slide it across.
It's a pretty box. I'll open it and I'll peek inside. I don't imagine Ro would have any idea what that is, so I'll sort of pick it up and be like, what do I do with it?
As you pick it up, you're able to look inside and you see a tiny little captured image of Valerith.
Oh, there's a thingy in here. What do I do? And I like sort of shake it and like try to figure it out.
And as you do that, you shake
The files are in the computer.
As you're shaking it, there's something you do, and there's a little light that rings around the outside and projects into the air an image of Valerith in the morning light. It's because Valerith is quite big. The image that you could like enter is, contained in size. You can see little people around. And you realize after a moment that this is from the Day of Takeback, the original one. That's commemorative in a certain way, to remember when the Baron was overthrown and the new organization of the city.
This is neat.
Yeah. You can like reach in and poke the little images and stuff. Your hand will
I
fade
do.
through them, but it's kind of fun.
Ro does.
Lena and anyone else who chooses that they recognize the item would know that if you take another picture with the item, the previous picture is erased. So, it's your call.
This is really neat, but I don't know who would send it to me.
Is there any? So it's like a broad picture. Like, is this a situation you can like enhance and like zoom in on parts of it, or
Yeah,
is
do I
it just
swipe
like
to
a
enlarge?
static? Yeah, or is it just like a static image that is of one size?
It is a static image, but it does have intense resolution, so to speak. It has magical levels of resolution.
Right. Like, does it? So like we can recognize that it's from the Day of Takeback. Can I look at it and see if there's anything like not like special, I guess, for lack of a better word? Like, is there anything that jumps out to me as like why this would get sent to Ro? And by accounts,
nothing
all of
obvious.
us, assuming.
Yeah.
And the Day of Takeback, that wasn't the same as the day that we got out, right? That was...
No, it was nearly a year before. Day of Takeback was a very bloody day, where
Right.
a lot of corrupt people were dealt with
Usurped.
violently.
Are there any,
Usurped. French Revolution.
The rich.
In the like projection, are the people detailed enough to tell who they are if you knew them, or are they so small that you can't really make out like features or anything?
If you knew someone's like style really well, you might be able to pick someone out.
Do we recognize anyone?
Faces are really small though.
Do I see
Yeah.
Robespierre?
But he'd be on top of like the mountain thing. He'd be really obvious.
I don't know who would send this, but it's really neat.
Yeah.
Why would somebody not put who it's from?
Maybe it's from an adoring fan.
I don't. It seems very odd to me. I don't.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
not think about it too much. Probably some adoring fan that read the newspaper. So let's just keep on unwrapping presents.
Possible.
And Everett pops from this. We could make a memory with it. We could like go pose all together and take a picture.
That's a great idea for maybe later.
Later.
Can I, when Ro moves on to their next present, can I just like take a look at the chest and kind of like see if there's any hidden bottom or like anything that's gonna like turn into crazy poison knockout gas? Like,
So there's no like hidden compartments or anything in the chest. However, you do recognize that the style is there's like you have spent a lot of time with like jewelry containers in the Empire, and this is definitely of their style.
all right, that's you said blue, and that was immediately like, oh, this sounds like Empire nonsense.
Poison PCU with a gas just twice, and everyone gets all
Twice,
worried.
yeah.
Or was it twice?
twice.
It was
Yeah.
twice.
Well, yeah,
There's-
it was
Oh.
once for
One
me and
because
then
you
once
ran
for
back?
Ferris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Once for me and once for Ferris. Yeah. Lena learns
Amazing.
eventually about some things.
There was one gift left on the table.
There is one gift left on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, Faris would take the last gift, which isn't wrapped but is in sort of a really finely crafted box made of dark wood with like swirling patterns of leaves and vines sort of engraved into it, and then the engravings are inlaid with gold, and hands it to Ro.
Oh, this is
This
so
is my one.
pretty. This is...
I hope you like it.
Okay, I'll open it.
As you open it, poison gas begins spilling out the side.
You dare!
I knew it! It was
Oh,
Ferris the whole
mutiny.
time!
Mutiny
Damn it,
against the
it's
DM. So
Continue.
inside the box is not poison gas, but in this sort of like fine, sort of like velvety interior to the box, there sits a flute, which is the exact same shape as Ro's friend flute that they lost in the pyramid. But this flute is made from polished dark wood, the same wood as the box. And it is also beautifully engraved with images of like a wolf pack leaping and running up the length of the flute, surrounded by the same swirling vines and leaves as on the box, and the engravings are again inlaid with shimmering gold.
Oh. Ro actually sort of pauses for a moment seeing this, because they've been very sad since they lost their original friend flute. And they just sort of stare with like their mouth open for a moment, and maybe Ferris thinks for a second they're sad, but then
Yeah.
their face just breaks into this huge smile. And they've still got the flute in one hand, and they like jump up to like hug Ferris as close to around the neck as they can reach.
Oh, she like wraps her arms really tight around Ro and holds them close. It's just like, I know it's not the same, but I hope you like it.
I love it so much, Ferris. Thank you. And even though Ro's trying to like stop licking people so much as they realize people don't like it so much for some reason, they still give Ferris a big lick on her cheek before they let go.
Varys never complains when Ro licks her.
Oh.
She's just like, whatever makes the kid happy.
I think, because that was the last gift, right?
I think
It
so.
is the last gift. However, Poppy, the little daisy on the table, wiggles slightly.
Oh, excuse me, I say to the room of non-plant speakers, and I'll go over and switch, I'll cast Commune with Plants, and I just sort of like put my hand on my hands and put my elbows on the table in front of Poppy. I'm like, hey Poppy, are you having fun?
Very much fun, Ro. Forsooth, I have a story for you, for I have no physical means to offer you a gift but my brain and my wit.
I love story time!
It is a poem of sorts. It's about you. It is yet unfinished. Tell me, are you ready to hear it?
Yes, I am! And I'll sort of settle down to listen.
and for the record, for everyone else, this is just Ro staring at a daisy. Just so you know.
Talking out loud, but nobody
That's fair,
hears
that's
the other
fair.
side of the conversation.
Ringing in circles of cycles of ages, your story is churning from these humble pages. To answer our hopes, our softest of sighs, you romping and wailing strode into our lives. But joyous occasion was marred, fraught with fright, for shadows stretch long on that deep dark fortnight. Why cycles nest cycles from whence to hither, your joys return accompanied by thunderous shiver. As fires of battle forged fell stories of myth, by beacon, by talon, sword free Valerith. You renewer of darkness, a void wrought from night, brighter than sun. Your soul shines ever light. Ringing in circles of cycles of ages, your story is churning from these humble pages.
Everyone just starts applauding in front of Poppy. Nobody else knows why. Poppy, that was so beautiful. I didn't know words could sound like that.
Glad you liked it.
I loved it. It was beautiful. When I learn how to write things better, I'm gonna write that down, and I'll write down all the poems you have told me. And then everybody can enjoy them too.
That would humble me greatly for you to record my little musings.
Oh, they're so pretty. I like them a lot, Poppy. And I just sort of like gently stroke like a petal.
Be careful, I am ticklish.
Sorry, I forgot. So I'll sort of readjust Poppy so she has a better view of everybody else. And I think I'll turn around and sort of stand up on my chair and just sort of be like, thank you everybody for coming to my first 310th birthday. I really like getting to spend all of this time with all of you. And I wanted to tell you something, because I've noticed that everybody else here has at least 2 names. And I asked the doctor about it, and they said that the second name means your pack. Usually the one you grew up in, but I've been thinking, because I don't know my first people pack yet. But if your second name is supposed to say who your pack is, like who they really are, then my name is Rose Starfall. And I wanted you all to know that.
Here to Rose, Starfall, and all their future endeavors.
Yay!
Raise the glass.
Poppy shivers slightly.
Now I can be a better, person with everybody, and everyone will know where my pack is.
That's really sweet, Ro.
Bro, you are the best person.
And the
You're the
best
best
wolf.
pack. Oh, thank you, Doctor.
May you continue to outshine us all throughout the years.
I don't know about that. And I just sort of hop down from the chair. Now what? Is it foods now?
Well, and Alika speaks at this point. We do have one last little surprise for you, but it's gonna take some travel, so we should probably finish eating first.
Travel? Where are we going?
Just somewhere else in the city.
Ooh.
Tiny found it.
I sort of look at Tiny like, what have you been up to?
Oh,
Okay, I like food too. And I'll go back and like plop down. I'm like, food, please.
There are like plates covered in like kofta and these like big bowls of rice with pomegranate mixed in them and turmeric, and just sort of like all sorts of food that. I mean, Faris has been preparing a lot of food. I don't know, other people might have prepared food as well. But she's also prepared like baklavas for dessert because she remembered that people liked them during the festival they all went to.
Aww. Rhode's very excited and will like try some of everything.
The doctor's gonna point to something and just be like, in my home, they don't make very good things at all. It's really just mush that doesn't. But my master, she was like to dry meats, kind of like the herbs. And the doctor's gonna point to a plate of these just dried meats. It's known as jerky, and you can keep it for a long time because it go bad. This one is spicy over here. This one is sweet, and this one is just normal, kind of salty. I think you would like them.
I am so excited. I'm gonna try everything. I do totally like try and take like samples of everything. Rose's very excited to be able to eat a variety of foods that's, not just scrounging for things in a forest like they're used to. This is so good, everybody. Thank you.
Oh, we wanted to celebrate you, so of course it's going to be wonderful.
I want to have so many birthdays.
You get one every year.
Well, you get to have one every year.
Yes.
Forever.
But everyone here has one as well, so
Yes, and
we'll
we'll,
see.
and Ferris will cook for all of our birthdays.
I'll learn.
I mean, if you like it enough.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. I'll learn a little bit, and then when it's your birthday, Ferris, you don't have to cook for that one.
Well, I'd be happy to teach you how to cook any of this. It's not that difficult. It's just food from home, from before.
I like it a lot.
all right. We're going to take this wonderful, flowing, bright feeling and stride it forward. You have a wonderful meal. Spirits are high. At least that's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah. Ro was very happy.
And after everyone who is desirous imbibes just way too much of Batinga's baking and Ferris's cooking, the time has come, and Ro, you're starting to what's that little wriggling thought back of like, did Alika mention some sort of surprise?
Oh, yeah. So I think as we're sort of winding down from Ro's like third slice of cake, we'll be like, we were gonna go on a field trip, right?
Yeah. Tiny here knows the way, so why don't you and her go there, and we'll catch up.
Okay, that'll be fun. Come on, Tiny, let's go. I'll sort of open the door. Be like, are you sure you know where it is, though, without her?
Of course. And Tiny bolts as soon as the door's open, with a little like head turned around back. Oh.
Okay, wait up. All right. We'll see you soon. Thank you again for everything. And then I whoosh into a red-colored wolf and zip after Tiny.
Oh. One there. All right. Angelica leads the rest of the crew out, except Everett, who's tuckered out and tired.
Yeah, go grab my coat because I'm in
Mag-
my pajamas. Just gonna throw my cloak on over my pajamas. It's fine.
Farah's still in full armor.
Lapis slowly climbs up Zake until he reaches Zake's head, and then
You're
just
saying your skeletal cat is
Yeah.
just climbed up Zake?
slowly, and then just lays down on Zake's head.
Mr. Bettina
Why?
goes, well, this has been an absolutely wonderful time, but I have to actually start preparing for opening tomorrow. Yeah, baking starts already.
Good luck.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
everything.
It's so much fun.
Thank you.
Please, I tried to catch Ro before they darted, but just tell them happy birthday from me.
Of
Can I
course.
try to give him some money? Because I'm assuming he brought a lot of stuff
Absolutely.
over. Yeah, I'm just
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
I'm just gonna try to pay him what I think he deserves, which is probably more than he would charge, but I don't need money.
Why don't you roll the die?
Okay. Ooh, 19. That is a triumph on making him take my
All right.
money.
So he doesn't even notice. He'll just find it in his pocket halfway
Mhm.
through baking his next batch of scones.
He goes to the bank. They're like, "Sir, you have $1.6 million in your account."
Lena.
Ain't I a stinker? Very sneaky.
Be sneaky. All right. So the rest of the crew, Alika and the fam, make their way across the city, and you head eastward, into a district that isn't as populated right now. And as you cross in, there's a somewhat menacing sign that says like "Welcome to Julep District." And Alika leads you all past fairly deep in. It's really, the fog makes it a lot scarier than it would probably normally be. But it's getting dark and it's foggy, and they have like this raven motif in this district. It's got some spook levels. But after about 5 minutes, you get led to a kind of quiet corner nearish the rim where there's this house. And there is one little light coming from the one window you can see. There's no roof on this house. It has collapsed or been removed at some point, and you can see greenery growing on the inside. And standing outside the house is Tiny, staunchly standing in front of the door, refusing to let Ro in until the others get here. Oh.
You just sort of hear like, I think I'm still a wolf until the others arrive at least, so you just hear like wolf conversation. I'm like trying to weasel around Tiny a little bit, but like playfully.
Yeah.
Alika, have you been training Tiny while you've been walking her?
This was all her.
Oh, okay.
Is there something in the house?
Well, Tiny, at this point, why don't we... And Tiny steps aside. And Ro, do you want to open the door? Head on inside? Oh, you're worried about poison traps again.
I swirl back up into Rofer. I'm like, I'm not scared, and I just open the door.
The door moves on what looked like to be restored hinges. And as you open it up, you can see there's a small little campfire set in was effectively this odd little contained forest biome. Obviously, there's no full-size trees, but there's a lot of little forestry and moss and ivy that springs around. But it's odd. It looks, outside of the roof being missing, the house looks fairly normal on the outside. And inside is this little retreat.
Oh, this is so neat! Tiny, did you make this somehow?
And-
Did you learn things?
Tiny runs around the campfire twice and then flops down on some moss to show her belly again. And he goes, Tiny and I found it while we were walking, and I helped Tiny, fix up the lock on the door and prepare it for today. But no one's claiming this house. I can assure that I checked. It's a place you can have a little hangout.
This is so nice. Look, we had this kind of moss was just like in my forest, and then we had this ivy was like the one that was in our den. And Rose just sort of really excited to see this much nature in the city combined in one place. That's not the plants they've cultivated within their own room, which is not near to this extent. Because I'm picturing practically like a terrarium inside like a house, right? Like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. That's a pretty apt description.
Yeah. So, I was like, Alika, you helped set this up. Thank you so much. I go and give her another big hug. And I'll go over to Tiny.
This one's all Tiny. This is we talked. This was Tiny's gift.
Okay, I go over to Tiny and just like plop down with her, and it's like dog child like wrestling, like giving her hugs. I'm just like, you're the best, Tiny. And Rose just very excited.
The doctor just turns to her and goes, "Can you talk to animals?" We're just really good at reading. Okay.
Oh, we had two gifts. And one of them, he leans into the doctor. We had two gifts, and one of them was a forest inside a house, and the other one was graphic novels. I think it kind of made sense to break it this way.
Thank you, Alika.
This is
thank you,
incredible.
Tiny, but thank you.
Oh, for Rob.
It's like when
That's
the gift
very
tags say from Santa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anytime I sign Christmas presents from my dogs to people.
Those are the good presents, right?
Yeah, the best presents. The best presents come from animals.
Big cute.
Valid.
So yeah.
So
it was very
if
exciting.
at this point, what does the rest of the little birthday night? It's getting quite late in game. What does the rest of the birthday night look like?
I don't know.
I mean, do we want
Bro.
to stay and hang out in the camp area or go back to the house?
I think Ro is very excited about being in this forest area. And we are in the Julep district, or did we just pass through there?
Yeah, you're in it.
Okay, so I think at some point, after Ro's sort of like gone around, they might have like pointed out some neat plants that they think the doctor would like and be like, I don't know if this one is healy or not, but I would eat it and I would feel better when I was feeling sick. And this one is tasty and that one makes you feel sick, so you don't want to eat that one.
Actually, that one that makes you feel sick, if you dry that and then you mix it together with something else, it is actually very good for you. But you have to actually, counteract the bad.
Okay. All right. And I grab some and stick it in the drying pouch you gave me. I'm like, I'll figure it out.
In use out of it.
And at some point, I'll sort of come and sit down next to the fire with everyone and be like, I don't know if we could do it tonight, but, I did find something weird in the city earlier that I don't think is too far, maybe? It might be kind of far. I don't know how to get there again, necessarily, this different way. But,
What did you find?
Yeah.
well, I've been thinking a lot, since the big fight a few weeks ago, when, that meanie butt face said to be careful under the city, because I didn't know there was, like, under the city. But I talked to some of my friends, like the mice and the rats in the city, and they told me there's this whole thing of like pipes and tunnels and tubes underground that go lots of places. So I started looking around there, and then this morning I found this weird place, but it was, I don't know, it was different.
Different how, Ro?
Well, I came and there was like this big door thingy, and when I turned back from being a mouse to go and open it, there was this big, like, clanky sound. And this thing came out from, like, a hole in the wall next to it. And it kind of looks like the thingies that the other meanie butt had. The, like, robot-y things. But they weren't the same. They had, like, this glowy thing in the middle. And I thought it was gonna, like, fight at me. So I started to turn back into a wolf. But then there was this, I don't know, this bright, like, blue light. And it was really warm. Like when you're in the sun for a minute. And then the thingy stopped coming to me. And it went back to the wall.
Faris is looking between Falwyn and Alika very pointedly.
As is the doctor.
And it was weird.
Everyone just turns to Alika like, what the fuck?
Oh, Ro, how do we get down there?
Well, I went through the sewer things, and I don't know if a full person can fit. It was pretty tiny, even for me sometimes.
Okay, so then, do you know what you were underneath?
Not like exactly, but when I came back up, I know I passed through, the place that has, like, a bunch of rocks sticking up out of it.
Cemetery.
Sure. We passed it on the way here.
Not to comment on the Baron's style, but hiding a vault entrance in the Catacombs entrance in the cemetery would be very his practice.
And that is somewhere we haven't tried yet.
I didn't see any cats down there.
Genuine laugh.
Same.
No, Ro. Catacombs is just a name for the place, the building
tunnels.
there. Yeah.
Oh. Is it a fancy name? Because it looks like a fancier tunnels than the ones I was in.
Yeah, they're sort of old fancy
Yeah.
tunnels.
Okay.
On a scale of 0 to fancy, I'd call it fancy.
Okay.
Sounds like something we can get up to tomorrow? Looks
yeah.
at Ferris, looks at Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds like
it's
a
the-
good idea.
The first lead we've had since the last one, so worth checking out.
Yeah.
So it's decided. Tomorrow, Catacombs.
Catacombs.
Yeah. Regardless, I was not going to go and walk into a cemetery in the night. That would just be foolish. Everyone knows bad things happen in cemeteries during the night.
Wouldn't be the first time. All of a sudden you're scared.
Well, it depends on what you're going to do. If you can do it during the day, then do it during the day. Just saying.
I mean, yeah, if you're not a coward.
Oh.
Do you
Alright,
need me to
alright.
make you confident again? I can do that.
Oh,
Everyone's like, no.
Confident Zeg was a bit of a liability.
seems like it.
Well,
But no, we can go tomorrow. It's getting late.
yeah. And it is your birthday, Ro. So technically, it's still up for you to decide if you want to go today. Perhaps you can go and scope the place out. If not, we'll just go home, have a rest, decompress, and then sleep and go. Up to you.
I mean, I don't know if people think it would be better tomorrow. I know it's dark and I can help us see in the dark a bit, but if daytime is easier, we can wait. Because I still don't really know how to find a way down there.
Let's enjoy the rest of your birthday, Ro.
Yeah, whatever it is, it
Yeah.
can wait until tomorrow.
Of course. You still have a bunch of presents to figure out a bit more, right?
Yeah,
At
yeah.
home?
Yeah.
You can play
Alright.
with your presents and we can have a nice rest.
It's decided then. Home.
Okay.
Home.
And on that, we are going to zoom up into the fog
Nat.
and go to break.
Oh, okay.
Nunu,
Yeah,
what-
no, let's start. Let's start after the break. It's okay.
Oh no! Oh, I don't like it when I don't like it when Nunu does things.
I know. Nunu's pulling
Megan-
a one more thing.
It
Nat,
never
I'd like
ends
to
well.
kill the
I'm
party,
Suspicious
please.
of Nunu? Why?
I wonder why.
I
reason.
no reason.
But no, definitely. We can do it after the break. It's okay.
We'll be back in a tight little 10 minutes. Just, stand up like
Yeah.
me, have a drink of water.
Drink some water.
Yep.
Yes.
Stretch.
Hydrate.
Hydrate.
Get a comb for your cat.
Say your last happy birthday,
me cat.
Ro.
Yeah. comb your
Yeah.
cat.
Wish her a happy birthday. Decide what you got them for their birthday.
Yes, tell us
Yep.
in chat what you got me. What you got,
Yes.
Ro. Thank you for coming to my birthday chat. I
Right.
love you all.
See you soon.
Bye.
Hi.
All right. Hi guys, we're back. Oh my god.
Hello.
So, welcome and upon to our humble theater.
Forsooth.
Very fancy.
Are you
Thanks,
role-playing
Poppy.
the flower again?
Forsooth.
Yes.
The most
Yes.
important character, obviously.
Yeah,
my
the
God.
new main character of this campaign.
My new
Throw
headcanon-
thine heart. Brings
new-
me but sunder.
Remember what Sam said that made us think of this idea? But it was great. I have no regrets.
My headcanon now is in like the movie of the Soaring City is everything's narrated by Poppy, who's like
Ooh.
Christopher Lee or
Oh my
some
God.
shit.
Oh, that's great.
Poppy is the narrator, canon.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's yes. YES.
Yes.
And thus our heroes.
It's perfect. Doesn't even
You don't
Trusted
find out
others
until the
that
end.
they shouldn't have.
It's like
the camera zooms out and Poppy is like on a windowsill.
Yeah. It's
The
like
camera.
the Dungeons and Dragons episode of Community where at the end it's like the cleaning lady narrating it. Like we
Mhm.
just zoom in on Poppy right at the end in the last episode.
That is.
It's perfect.
Well,
It's
anyway,
like a book open in front for no reason.
I have just posted Poppy's poem in the Quest of Soaring City channel in the Chromatic Chimera Discord. Because it goes by super fast. And fun fact, there were some story hints in there because I wrote that last night in a fever dream.
Wait, there's a story?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's when the good content gets made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is valid.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so good.
So-
We're gonna need that clipped.
So as we come back, heading home, it's late. Y'all have had a wonderful remainder of the birthday in the little forest home, and started to head back to Starfall Spire unless Nunu interrupts me.
No, as we go to Starfall Spire, if you have nothing planned before we
So
reach
before you get
the
there.
door. Okay, go for it.
Before you get there, Lena, it's late, and as you are coming back, crossing near the entrance of the cemetery, there's a imposing clock on one of the the tower facing the entrance cemetery. It reads 1:12 as you're leaving.
Later than I thought.
Yeah. Y'all have a party.
112, the European emergency number? Must be.
Yeah.
That's early. What are they doing going to bed so early?
We're not all you, is it?
It's a showing. And now Nunu, as you get upon the spire.
Yeah. So as we're in the corridor, walking towards the door, I kind of take Lena by the arm, kind of silently. Oh, you know what would be great? Mr. Batinga said he was gonna get things done for tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go down and tell him to bring a fresh dose, like early in the morning, so that Ro wakes up and still has that feeling of birthday tomorrow as well.
Oh, that's
Shh, cover for me. I'll be right back. And Zay kind of runs down and tries and find Mr. Batinga to ask for an extra dose of donuts. Good morning. Is Mr. Batinga there?
Mr. Tinga is there. Just has sat down with a little glass of water, sweat across the brow, with just 2 layered ovens full every rack baking.
Mr. Batinga, sorry to interrupt.
He
after
doesn't
you've done-
start.
Just me. Everything's okay. I have a huge favor to ask of you.
Well, anything.
it's-
and he
it's
kind
Rose.
of pats he pats his pocket in his little jingle. Lena decided to help cover the party.
It's Rose's first birthday party, and I think like the clash with tomorrow might be too much. Could you just bring up a box of fresh donuts early in the morning tomorrow? Then I can tell them to open the door, and then they're there. It would be super cool.
Totally.
Is that okay?
That sounds great. I mean, we got 12 birthdays to make up for.
Exactly. So I think it would be a good idea, no?
Oh, and can you do me a favor? And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out like a fat stack of the coins Lena gave him. And can you just give these back to Lena.
Dare.
My good sir, I have no idea what you're talking about. I will not
course.
accept any money. I'm walking back. Good night.
She is a chronic overpayer. It's not her generosity is too much. Please.
No.
And he just takes half of the takes half the stack and puts it on the counter.
Absolutely not.
That is the payment I require for the box of donuts in the morning.
That made no sense. I should be paying you for the donuts tomorrow. I should be paying you extra. You know what? The extra money Lena gave you is for the donuts. How does that sound? Yes? Okay,
Looks up
perfect.
at the ceiling fan. And he reaches out and picks the stack back.
All right. As he turns around and Zeke turns around as well to walk up. Squeak Scope, is anyone around at this time? Matt?
It's like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I figured.
And then like even if there was someone relatively nearby, because like the bakery does have some glass windows and stuff, the fog makes it pretty hard to see more than 100 feet.
In that case, Zeke will approach the counter again silently and just go, one more thing, Mr. Batinga. And as he turns around, Zake's pointing the wand at him and just goes, and Mr. Batinga disappears.
Behind a tiny little bead of darkness that quickly winks out of existence.
Zeke cracks his neck and walks back up.
Jesus Christ.
I knew you were gonna.
So Megan, I have this message from you saying you might want to do something.
Yeah. How long?
It sounds to me like. Oh, go ahead.
How long of a walk would you say it is? Like, how long does it take to walk from the tower to the cemetery?
10, 15.
Cool. Once we're all back, I'm gonna wait until it's like 1:45, and then I'm gonna walk back to the cemetery.
All right. On your way out,
I'm gonna like try
You
to. I'm gonna
notice
like
that-
try to be like sneaky about it. So I might be like going around the outside or something.
on the way outside of the tower.
Yes.
I get you. You spy inside the bakery. It's quiet. Maybe Batinga found a little moment to catch some shut eye before opening.
Good for him. He deserves to rest. I think to myself, and yeah, I will make my way. Oh, I'm gonna change first into like my armory like clothes and out of my pajamas.
Yeah, take off your party hat. Put on.
Yep, take off the party
adventure
hat.
clothing.
Yep. Put on, like.
So
and, yeah.
When are you planning on getting to the cemetery?
I mean, I want to get there by 2:12.
All right.
But like,
So you
I
get
want
there
to get
about
like in
2:10
view of the
because
yeah.
And you stand there in the fog, probably hidden in some alleyway, all sketchy like.
Yeah.
And right about
Like you
the
do.
clock chunks over to 2:12. You see a familiar face walk out of the cemetery. Darwin now?
I'm gonna go walk over.
As you walk up, he looks up at you, smiles, and then there is this slight nod of the head, just a little, and a piercing purple or violet shines in his eyes, If someone was watching, they'd see it shine in yours too. And in that moment, you find yourself high up on a castle wall. It's almost a dreamscape. The sky is this pastel purple. Down below, it looks like an almost impossibly far fall to a moat. But standing along the castle wall with you in this dreamscape is one Arvis von Hrinth. So you wanted to meet?
Yes. Hope it's not too much trouble.
I wasn't expecting you to reach out so quickly.
Well, things need to be done. And I don't have the means to do them on my own, so you do.
You want to save him, don't you?
I do. I'm going to. It's just a matter of whether or not you're involved in that. Can you save him?
I think so. There are few things in this world that I am uncertain of. This one has a level of uncertainty.
It's a little worrisome. I'm used to you being very sure.
Zeke has played with forces dark and old.
Right. And what is it going to take to fix it?
Oh, certainly you understand that one at least. Your friend, the Vanguard. She took responsibility from me last we spoke. All I require is that responsibility be fulfilled.
I'm sorry, I don't follow.
He looks genuinely slightly disappointed. He goes, the Knights of Sur, up in their high mountain fortress of Survein, are calling council to decide and if they invoke their magic to disrupt the necromantic arts across the entire world that will kill dozens of thousands of lives. See, last we spoke, it was just thousands because we're talking about Valerith. Now it's many, many more. I was trying to solve that problem, but your little gang of heroes had other ideas. It's your problem now. You have 3 more weeks. Well, 2.5, really. Before we get involved again.
All right.
I don't need you to put me in contact with your friends. In fact, I think we might operate a little better without that. All I need is for you to make sure that that little responsibility is fulfilled.
All right. I'll try. I don't know what I can do. I don't know if she'll listen to me, but
I think your chances might be better if you don't mention I'm involved.
oh, well, I'm not an idiot. It's
Good.
right. It's just I'll figure it out.
Speaking of which, I need to figure out for your little friend, so talk again soon. You know how to reach me.
All right. Thank
And
you.
there's another flash of purple in each of your eyes. And from the outside perspective, Darnell and Lena just lock eyes once, a little flash of light, and he just walks on by, that entire conversation happening in the blink of an eye.
And I will go back home.
As you're standing there, you watch Darnell, big air quotes, walk into an alley, and you swear you see the silhouette just disappear.
I didn't like any of that. But yeah, I'll just go back home. I'm gonna sneak, use my feather hook to like sneak in like up to the telescope room and then go downstairs because I'm 1 floor down versus going up 2 floors and trying to sneak past everyone.
At some point, when the group got back to Starfall Spire, Varys would have maybe pulled Alika aside. Can we talk somewhere? Just the two of us.
Sure. Kitchen?
Sure, yeah, I think Roy's already asleep, so yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Do you want something to drink or anything?
No, I gotta work more tomorrow.
Fair. I mentioned that I had another request for you, and I feel bad because I feel like I keep requesting things of you. Here, and she pulls out a piece of paper that she had folded up in a pocket and hands it to Alika, and it's got 3 names written on it. She just hands the piece of paper over.
Over. Can you please?
I just, I want you to send someone who you trust to find out what happened to them, if they're okay, and if there's any chance of getting the second 2 out. But they can't know, people in the city can't know that whoever's looking for them is there on my behalf.
So, I take it Naima and Camila related to you? Judging by the last names?
Yeah. The other is another Solari. I don't know if she still is, but I can't bear not knowing what happened anymore. And I know that if I try and look into this, it's just going to make things even worse. So I was just hoping that maybe you could send someone and we could figure out a way to get them out. Or at least I just want to know what happened to them.
I know you've alluded to it a bunch of times that you're not exactly welcome back home anymore. What exactly happened?
She just kind of stares at Alika silently for a while.
So after about 5 seconds of silent staring, she breaks and goes, "You don't have to. It's okay."
They think I'm a traitor, but I prevented a lot of people from being killed, so I think I did the right thing.
Well, missing any other information, I'm inclined to agree. Lives are precious.
Yes, and as Solari, that's what we're supposed to do, is protect lives. So that's what I did. And I also wanted to thank you for giving me the opportunity to keep doing that with this Vanguard thing. It's I've been feeling very directionless until now.
Ferris. Choosing to do what's right at great personal cost. That's why you're in this position. That's why we chose you.
Is that the only reason?
Well, I also think you do very well in it. And you have to understand, we're in a bit of a precarious situation, so getting someone to go what effectively sounds like spying on another place might take some time.
I understand. I kept trying to think of a way I could do it ever since you freed us, and I just couldn't think of a way of interacting with Shamsara without putting myself or any of them in danger. So anything you can do, I appreciate.
Of course. The city, I mean, ideally, once we get back to the life as normal, we travel all over. Eventually, we'll come to Shamsara.
The thought had crossed my mind, I won't lie. I'm not sure what I'll do.
You know, it's Rose's birthday. I know there's more here. I know that look in your eye. We can unpack all that later.
Yeah, I've kept you for long enough.
There's a linger.
You, I know Arvis is a touchy.
I do not want to hear anything about that guy for as long as I can manage.
It is
Oh,
a
no.
freeze for everyone.
I
Froze
froze!
land.
There we go.
I did a nunu! Faris
As
disappears,
it disappears into the shadow realm.
Zeke appears behind them and casts something on Ferris. Ferris.
No! Betrayal!
I saw Nunu vent in the kitchen.
Emergency meeting.
So I heard her say, I do not want to talk about Arvis.
I never want to hear anything about
Right.
about him for as long as I can manage.
That's understandable. It's just, I had wondered whether... No, it's stupid, never mind.
Well, okay, look, he's as close to garbage as a human can get, but none of his intel's been bad.
He said some things about you, and he was obviously trying to manipulate me, so it's fine. That's all he did, so...
Well, that's probably pretty normal. Really don't think any of it's true?
I don't know.
Oh, if you think any of it is worth fact-checking, I'm an open book.
He just... He said the reason he wanted me to talk to you was because of feelings and love, which is just... I mean... He was trying to manipulate me. It's stupid, I shouldn't have said anything.
Her fingers grip the countertop a little tighter. Yes. That sounds like him.
Yeah. Sorry, I shouldn't have brought it up. It's supposed to be Rose's birthday. It's supposed to be a happy
You know, I
occasion.
actually need to get home kind of soon.
Yeah.
You know, we are trying to, go kill some things and just save the, find iron. It's...
Yeah, we've got work to do tomorrow, so...
Yeah.
Rest up.
Yeah. 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 And there's like quietly backing up. And then Alika's normally a quite confident person, and she absolutely scurries out of the room.
As soon as Alika is gone, Faris is just like sat at the kitchen counter like this for like a solid hour. At some point, slowly reaches over and grabs like a bottle of wine that was on the side and just like starts drinking, but pretty much just is like, what the fuck? Did you
Oh
just
god,
say?
I think around that time, I think Lena gets home and like changes back into her pajamas and comes downstairs to like get some water
I got
before bed.
I got a better one. Right, a bit after that, maybe you've been sitting there for about 20 minutes, you see Lena coming up the outside of the tower through the kitchen window.
So Lena would see Faris sat there just like basically disassociating, and then she sees movement and it catches her eye and she's just like...
And I think Lena like scoots all the way back up and like rips all of her like armor off and everything and like comes back downstairs. Just like, yeah, I'd be like, I've been here the whole time, hello. Be like,
Yeah, totally. I won't tell
you
anyone.
okay?
Yeah,
You okay?
I'm fine.
You say that with the tone of someone who's distinctly unfine? Do you... And she like sits down next to you like, you wanna talk about it? I'm not really...
Said that's a thing people do, right? They like talk about things they're feeling and thinking about. It's like a normal thing that people do.
Yeah, Zake says that's a thing that people do. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, why not, right? If Zake says this is what people do, I mean,
Clearly, we're the two best people to do this, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, maybe because we're both really bad at it, we should do it more
so we
to be
improve.
better at it. Like, if it
like
helps,
training.
like, if... Right. And if this is, like, something embarrassing, like, I could tell you something embarrassing that I did first, if that makes you feel better.
It might, actually.
Oh, okay. Alright. And, like, Lena's face is just, like, was not expecting you to say yes to that. Cool.
She takes a massive swig of wine.
Yep, I was like...
Passes it
like,
to Lena.
Yep, Lena's gonna just, like, take a drink, like, right out of the bottle.
As all Megan.
And then, and then just be like, well, like, I don't know, like, I may have told Zeke that I loved him the other week before we went and, like, did the big fight thing. So that's a thing that I did, that I'm, like, I've been living with it for a couple weeks, but it's just now really, like, going through my head is processed as something that I did, because we haven't talked about it, which is probably better.
Are you two like okay?
He kissed me.
Well,
So there was that.
That's good.
But that was like where we might go die adrenaline, probably. we haven't like talked about it, so I don't know. But that's like a thing that happened that I did that, wow, was probably really dumb now that I think about it. So what did you do?
I may have brought up to Alika that the thing Arvis said about her having feelings for me, but obviously it's not. He was trying to manipulate me, so I should never have brought it up, and I've obviously just completely ruined things, like fucking idiot.
Like,
So
what did she say? Like,
she,
like, wait. Okay. I'm gonna be you, and you're gonna be Alika, and I need you to show me how she reacted.
I don't need to show you. I can just tell you.
Nope. This is
no.
all
It's
right.
not. She literally ran away. So
From her feelings.
No, clearly I made her really uncomfortable because
uncomfortable with her feelings for you that she couldn't confront because it's scary. Because loving someone is scary as hell, and
But why would she love me? It's stupid.
I don't know, because you're really pretty and you fight really good and you're a good person. You're better than most of the people here. Why wouldn't she love you?
I mean, that's not true, but like...
I wouldn't lie to you about this.
About this one thing. I just... It was stupid. I should never have brought it up.
It's not... Do you... like, do you like her? Is it stupid because you like her and you're afraid that she doesn't like you back?
I mean, I don't know if it's that, because I
it's a
haven't
yes or
really
no question.
Done relationship? Yeah, I think I do.
It's gonna... I am not the person to give relationship advice, or any advice, really. This is a horrible idea. However...
Megan, survey the party. You're the person.
What?
No one asks me anything.
Zeke, you're the imposter.
He's venting right now.
You don't know that.
Suddenly the comms go out.
We need to fix the O2. I think Nina's just gonna like reach forward and put her hand like on your shoulder and be like, listen, all joking and pretense and everything aside, if there's anything that I've learned, or that any of us have really learned in the past however long that this has been going on, is that we could like wake up tomorrow and the city could be crashing into the ground or something like that. Like, we live lives that are too uncertain to not tell the people that you care about them. And it's scary. It's scary as hell. I am just really dreading when Zake's gonna want to talk about any of this, but that's fine. That's future Lena's problem, and future Lena will figure that out. But
my internet, no.
Oh, but I don't know. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I don't think she ran away because she's uncomfortable that you asked her that, because she doesn't care about you. I think she ran away because it's one thing to feel something about someone and another thing to be faced with it head on and have to look at it and say, oh shit, this is real and this is how I feel, and that's really scary and that makes you want to run away.
Or I just asked my boss if she's in love with me.
That's semantics.
And now she regrets everything.
I don't think that you give yourself nearly enough credit. Actually, I know that you don't give yourself nearly enough credit.
What do you mean?
So, just the very idea that you can sit here straight-faced and tell me that you don't see why she would have feelings for you or why anyone would have feelings for you, Ferris. You're being really silly.
If you say so.
I do. I mean, I could get you second opinions if you want. I could do a poll of people. Well, I mean, there's only the people who live here.
Yeah, I
and
don't
that
need
would
to
probably
know
be
Zake's
more
opinions of me. I'm joking. I try and do it sometimes. I don't know if it lands.
You're doing great. You are. You're doing good work. And people.
Tomorrow I have to go and explore the catacombs with her.
Hey, maybe you'll get like lost together and trapped in some spooky room, and then just when you think it's too late and you're never going to get out and you confess your feelings for one another, then out of the silence you hear us calling for you and you know that you are saved, and then you can walk out holding hands.
You read a lot of romance novels.
How do you know? How could you tell? I stay up late a lot.
Yeah, same.
So.
Well, thank you for listening to me. I hope you're right.
I do too. But that if you ever need to talk, you know where to find me.
Clock strikes 3 in the morning.
Well, it's just about time. Go to bed now and get like a nice tight 2 hours.
Yeah, we've got
seems
catacombs to explore, so
yeah.
Takes another massive swig of wine.
Well, just go easy on yourself. You're pretty great.
Well, you're pretty great too.
I know. But thanks.
All right. That was adorable and excellent in like 16 different ways. Morning? Morning? Morning?
Morning.
Morning? 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 Morning?
Morning.
Morning is for winners.
Ro, you hear a knock on the door. Everyone's awake except Ferris.
Took that bottle of wine into her room.
Scans.
Yeah. You hear a knock on the door. It'll just.
I'll go over. I forget, did we establish if there was like a peephole?
There's none.
Okay. I'll go over and just be like, hello!
There's no response.
I'll like... Rose still, I think, very paranoid ever since Darunel kidnapped Tiny.
Sure.
So before they open the
And
door...
as you all know, in RPGs, doors are the enemy.
It's true. It's true. So Rose going to real quick cast Prey Sense, which lets them, get that sort of tingly sensation. Their spider sense if there's a sneak attack about to happen or something, and they'll go and open the door. and sort
You
of
open the door,
peer
there's
around.
one of those boxes of donuts, but this one has scones filling it, and it has a little note on the top that says, just to keep that birthday train rolling.
I can't read it myself yet. I'm still learning.
But there's scones in one of Batinga's boxes.
Yeah,
You know
I think
that.
I would recognize it.
You can read too.
I
Oh,
could
there's
probably get two
scones,
by
too.
now, maybe. Yeah, so I'm like, some things for someone, and I'll take the box in and bring it into the kitchen, and I'll just sort of start going to wake people up and be like, Mr. Batinga left us breakfast. Knocking on the doors. It's like a little kid on Christmas Day almost, way too
And-
early.
Lena's just like, are there scones?
Yeah, lots of scones. They smell good.
Door opens immediately.
And I'm already gone knocking on the next door.
Like I said, most everyone's up and ready and assembled, and assembles quickly. Ooh, nice background sound.
Yeah.
It's misty.
Misty
Ooh,
Canyon.
Is this why you chose this one? This is a long con, isn't it?
Are you kidding? I've been Googling this shit like as we're talking.
Love it.
Okay,
Absolutely
that's fair.
love
That's
it.
fair.
Appreciate the honesty.
Oh, Batinga brought scones and donuts.
Yeah, they look so good.
Zay kind of walks up to the notes and, bro, they're for you apparently to keep the birthday train rolling.
Well, that sure was.
Again.
Well, that sure was nice of him. Lena
This
says,
man.
just shooting a sideways smile at Zeke.
But, I mean, obviously,
wasn't
he's
that
like the
nice?
best person.
That was so nice of him. We should say thank you. Later. I forget if we pass his new place on the way or not, but it will be good, right? You're supposed to be polite.
Yeah.
To be clear, he's moved back in.
He's moved
beneath
back.
He's downstairs
tower.
again.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so it's downstairs
Yeah.
is the grand opening.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
remember
say
back to
goodbye
like
as
you
we
can't
leave.
you can't sneak by without him noticing that whole thing.
I love it. And we should definitely make sure we say thank you. Is there like something we should bring him for like a bakery like present or something? I don't know.
Do you want to?
To do presents, I guess.
You could make him a thank you card or something for all of the treats.
Okay. And it's like just as quick, I'm off just trying to find like paper and the equivalent of a crayon.
Imagine doctors helping you actually do the
Yep.
writing.
Right. Maybe I'm like tracing doctor's letters or something.
Yeah.
Is that one? Is it? Okay, that's very good. And there you go. Now you could add some sparkles if you use this herb right here.
Ferris, in the past, you generally meet at the location for these kind of delves.
Yeah. I think Farris kind of strolls out of her room a little while into this, looking as though she probably hasn't had much sleep. Joins the rest of the party. Oh, more donuts. Brilliant.
And scones.
I think Lena's just gonna hand Ferris like a tall glass of water, like
Just takes it
without
and
saying
starts
anything, just like
drinking, yeah.
wordlessly hands it over.
Yeah. Like the silent acknowledgement, she just takes the glass, nods, and drinks it.
Solidarity.
Yeah.
Doctor just walks up to Ferris, puts the back of his hand on her forehead. Yes, are you all right?
I'm fine, thank you.
Oh. Walks away.
Do you need hair of the dog?
The doctor understands when Ferris
Doctor's
drinks too much.
Oh, I see. Walks away.
She just sips her water. Just like. So I
That kind
guess
of turns. Go on.
I guess we're probably meeting Alika there then, the entrance to the catacombs.
Seems
Yeah,
right. Should
Did we tell Alika where it was? Ro, did you?
I mean,
Oh, yeah,
that's
you
how
mentioned
these
something.
operations usually
She
go.
was with us, yeah.
You mentioned about
Yeah.
rocks or something, right?
yeah, we're gonna meet at the cemetery. I think is what we had established.
Yeah, the catacomb is somewhere through the sewers, kind of.
Right.
Okay. All right. Zay kind of finishes strapping his pauldron on, gets his wand, and puts it in one of his leather holsters that he keeps his war fans on his back. He has one more extra slot now.
Fucking war fans.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, I'm ready. Anyone needs to do anything? We'll obviously pass by Mr. Batinga's bakery. Wish him good luck for the grand opening and to give Rose notes.
Yeah.
yeah, let me go get changed real quick, and we'll be back. I'm just gonna like do the anime thing where you like stick the scone in your mouth and just walk upstairs, like hanging out.
Varys looks down and sort of realizes she may have, for like the hour of sleep she got, fallen asleep in her armor and just kind of shrugs, casts a shield on herself.
Nice.
These things happen. I feel like that sometimes.
Ferris, it's right about
Yeah.
this juncture that you realize that in the past, when you've had these kind of delves, you and Alika have talked about who you bring along.
Oh god.
Oh no.
And that conversation didn't happen because you were abruptly cut off last time due to really having to get home quickly.
Yep.
Um,
Oh! Yes.
Doctor.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, she's talking to like with everyone in earshot.
Yeah.
Remember our last mission of this kind? Who came along with us?
Yeah. That person. I cannot remember the name.
She goes by Reyna in Alika's presence.
Yeah, that's it. Reyna. Yeah. Very nice person. Very helpful.
So, I don't know if she will be there, but I just realized that me and Alika didn't actually discuss it before she left last night. We didn't get the chance. Reyna has kind of been, at Alika's request, helping out with the investigations into the catacombs. I kind of figured it was okay since you guys told me that Lena and her had buried the hatchet. Somewhat.
No. I wouldn't call it bury the hatchet. There was a mutual understanding that they would keep out of each other's ways forever. So, Ferris, how would you feel if just you went on ahead and explained the situation?
Yeah, I might do that. I mean, I'm not saying that she's definitely going to be there, but there is a chance Alika may bring her, given that she has experience dealing with this exact mission.
If there's a chance, might as well just make sure that it doesn't happen.
so,
If it
I'm
happens.
gonna go do that.
Lena,
Sorry.
this conversation's happening right in front of you. What's going on in the brain space?
Didn't Lena go up?
Didn't Lena
To
go?
the-
Yeah, I
to
went
her
to go
room?
to her room.
Oh, sorry. Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, that's super smooth.
Yes.
That was very sweet.
I assumed that was why you were bringing it up.
Yeah, I went to go change.
Y'all were smoother than I was. Yeah. So
I'm going to go then, and she like grabs one of the scones and starts devouring it.
Good. Yeah.
Doctor just leans
Alright,
into
so-
Zeke and goes, I don't understand what's wrong with Reyna.
You remember that person that Alina wanted to murder?
Yeah, I think their name was Nera.
Exactly.
Oh! I don't know why I did not put that together. But okay. Now I get it. Sisters. That was a joke.
this is basically a soap opera. We need to throw some identical evil twins at y'all.
Yeah.
Arthas.
Arthas, yes.
Is his own identical evil twin right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So we need to get Alika's evil twin here.
No!
Ooh.
Alika's
Alright,
evil
so
twin
Ferris
is Attila.
Ferris is making her way up ahead, or everyone else, and you blast through Batinga's bakery. He is busy with his grand reopening. Gives you a wave, but doesn't catch your eye. And as you venture forward. Actually, before you get there, I want to pop over to the rest of the group heading down because I want to know what's on that thank you card that Ro wrote. That's important to me. My soul needs that.
Oh,
That's a word picture.
I mean, yeah, I think it's pretty simple, you know, just like a big, "Dear Mr. Buttinga, thank you for the tasty donuts and scones and ice cream and being my friend." And there's like a stick figure row with like a bunch of donuts and cake.
And the doctor allowed Ro to make spelling mistakes as long as it was still understandable.
Adorable.
It's adorable, yes.
Batinga takes a quick moment out of his busy morning, takes it, looks at it, melts, holds it to his chest, says, "Oh, Ro, you'll always be my favorite."
You're my favorite, thank you, Mr. Batinga. And I go and give him a hug, but I don't lick him because I know he doesn't like that when he's working.
That's very astute. He gives you a little squeeze. Sadly, I do really need to get back, though.
Okay, have a good first day.
Thanks.
A little chat off.
And then, as you all start to head out, you pass a few little shops that are finally opening up. There's this nice little store where you can buy new clothes. You can see some of the things that Ro has cobbled together for their new outfit on display. There's this nice little training center on there's the bow and blade. It's adorable. They have the window all open and a blue door, and they're run by these sisters, right? Sam?
Brother and a sister.
Brother and sister, my bad. And then there's Janet's Consultancy. It says tactical, investigatory, relational. Ferris, as you get there, before everyone else, you come upon and find yourself out in the foggy outside the graveyard in the Julep District Cemetery. You and Alika alone again.
Oh god. Ferris looks like a little bit concerned when she gets there, and then
you
starts
see her
to look relieved
before she notices you.
Yeah. She starts to look relieved, but then sort of the mild panic comes over her again. And then she just sort of composes herself and strides over. Morning.
Yeah, nice fog we're having this morning.
Yeah. So just want to check, no one else coming with us this time other than us and the party who are making their way here?
No, I figured with all the extra capable heroes, I wouldn't need anyone else.
Perfect.
Honestly, you could probably do it without me.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
You came ahead for any... Just get out the door before the rest of them?
I just wanted to get, a tactical layout of the situation before everyone else arrived.
Yeah, I mean, like, the tactical layout, that's something that having a bunch of extra people to watch would make really hard to do. Can't get a proper tactical layout with an audience. So should we start looking around for an entrance? It's gonna be somewhere in the graveyard.
Yeah. Let's get to work.
All right. And fairly shortly after you start poking around, the rest of the crew, unless Ferris decides to make another life decision.
Ow. No, she is incredibly awkward and straight to just like, this is work time now, and I have an excuse to not talk about this really awkward thing because I'm focused on working and doing a good job.
Excellent. All right. So after a little bit, the rest of the crew shows up. But before that, why don't you and Elika each roll the die?
Ooh, okay. 14.
All right. So you find a grave of someone you know is still alive. Well, you're pretty sure. You ran into Norm just the other day.
No, not Norm.
But here's the T: is low on the stone near the ground.
Mhm.
It's got a little spot where you could like push it in like a button.
Funny that.
That's odd about everyone else is showing up.
Faris will just kind of glance up at Alika and brush her hand over the strange panel.
Yeah.
Push it.
As you push it and the rest of the crew shows up, the ground maws open in front of the headstone, right where the body would be, showing a now somewhat dusty staircase descending into the earth.
Thank you, Norm.
And on that note, I think that's where we end session 1.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Norm.
Thanks,
Norm.
Did you say Norm?
Norm's not dead. That's why it was a giveaway.
Yeah.
Giveaway.
Not Norm.
I can't
He
give away.
recycles.
I can't give up Norm like that.
He recycles. He doesn't
Not
deserve
like
to
this.
die.
Not like this.
Yeah. So it was fun.
That was such a fun session.
It was very good.
I
I
had
loved it.
fun.
So many things
Oh yeah,
happened.
I bet you did, Nunu.
Sure you did, Nunu, if that is your real name.
Saw Zake vent in the
I
bakery.
bet you did. Listen,
Emergency meeting.
I have
Blue
theories.
Venting Bakery.
That was amazing, Nat. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so
That
much.
was so wonderful.
Why don't we start with our lovely birthday child for the week, Sam?
Sure thing. Hey everyone, I am Sam. You can find me on Twitter at @thesamwisest. I am Samwise_GameG here on Twitch. You can mostly find me right here at the Chromatic Chimera, where I am the accessibility director. I'm a disability advocate off stream. You will be able to see me here next this coming Wednesday for episode 2 of our new 13th Age campaign, Madame Curio's Bizarre Bazaar. We're starting at level 1. It's like a sort of low stakes, very episodic game, so it's gonna be a lot of fun if you're just looking for, something with a bunch of serious trash fires to come and check out. Otherwise, you can see me on Saturday in our Monster of the Week campaign, Mysteries of the Mojave. And is that this Sunday? I think it is. It is this Sunday, the 25th. I'm going to be playing Burn Bright as part of Roll20 Con. It is being GM'd by the amazing James Intricasso, who's a guest with us once before, and he's also one of the creator for Burn Bright, and I'm very excited about that. So check that out on Sunday. Otherwise, I will pass it on. I believe Nunu is down below me, so I'll just drop this present down there.
Well, hey, thank you, Sam. Yes, I am Nunu. You can find me online wherever you find people online at jnunutex. Apart from this project here, I currently have nothing else going on. So that's it. I'm just going to say thank you for coming for episode 1 of our 2nd season. I hope if you're new and didn't have the chance to watch season 1, I think it was fairly easy to jump in. I hope it was. If not, let us know and we can change things, because we want people to stick around with us, because we like sharing our stories with you. That's it. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to shoot this over this way to Izanao.
Hey. I'm Izza, and you can find me at Evil Clever Dog on Twitter and Instagram, as well as finding me here every Monday. You can also find me on Thursday evenings playing Pokemon Black with my friend Finn on their Twitch channel, twitch.tv/FinnTheBin. I'm also part of the Asians Represent Critical Read Al Qadim podcast. We just had our latest stream this Saturday, and the VOD of that will be up on their YouTube channel on Wednesday, and that's every third Saturday of the month. So the next one will be, I think it's the 21st of November. I can't remember off the top of my head. And as well as that, I have some exciting news. I now have a currently empty YouTube channel where some exciting things will be being uploaded very, very soon. The first things I'm going to upload are sponsored content that I will be able to give a little bit of a hint about tomorrow on Twitter, so keep an eye out for that. And also maybe go subscribe before I've even done anything with the YouTube channel. That would be real cool.
How do people subscribe, Isa?
How do people subscribe? The channel name is Evil Clever Dog, just like everything else that I have. And it's linked in my Twitter bio as well. So yeah, that's my exciting things. So I will pass it along to Megan next.
Oh, I am Megan. You can find me most places you find people online at MeganLynFTW. I'm on Twitter and I shout a lot about RPGs because I like RPGs. You can find me here with these magnificent people on Mondays, obviously playing this game. You can find me, let me look at my calendar, a week from tomorrow, right back here at 7 o'clock Eastern for my show Unprepared, where I facilitate GM-less and prepless games for people. We are playing Our Queen Crumbles, and I'm very excited about it. We've got some awesome people to play this kind of spoopy storytelling game. I also design games, and you can find any of my games at megalynftw.itch.io if you have a hankering for some GM-less, prepless games that tend to lean real sad, because I like the sads. Who would have thunk? What a shock. So you can check out my stuff there. And that's, yeah, that sounds like it's it for me, so I'm going to toss it up to Robert.
Oh, jeez. Thing is big. Put that over here for, oh, wait. Oh, everyone's here. Hi, yeah, I am Robert. I am a voice actor. You can find me on Twitter at Voices of Robert, where if I do anything, I will mention it there, even though I barely ever use it. Yeah, I almost never have anything to announce. There's long periods in between where anything can ever be said in this profession. So I love you guys, and I'm just gonna throw it at the guy that owns this world, not the world of the game. This whole world, Earth, is Nats, and I'm.
Why do you think I dress so nicely? I am CFO of Earth. You've unmasked me, Robert. You've dug beneath the surface to find the secret information.
I knew you were a capitalist.
Yeah, we all knew.
Ah!
That's why you played it so well.
Damn it. So before I talk about me, I'm going to talk about this little game. You can find us every Monday, same time, 6:30 Eastern. We also have a number of just delightful sponsors. First of all, I'm so washed out by this document I just opened. So first of all, we are Quest affiliates. So you can use the code NOINITIATIVE, all caps, no spaces. If you order this lovely game, which I don't have on hand, I have like the cards on hand. They're pretty. Boom. You can get 10% off, and we get helped out, and it makes everyone happy, and the Earth keeps rotating, because I'm in charge of that, and if you don't do it, the Earth will stop rotating, and we will all freeze to death. We're also sponsored by Tabletop Loot. You can use the code SHIELDMON 15% off, and Heartbeat Dice with code CHROMATIC, all caps, for 10% off. We're also part of the Roll20 Spotlight program, the whole Chromatic Chimera channel is. And I'm Nat, freelance layout designer and editor. Hire me. I'm doing some good shit that I'll talk about at some point, because that's how life works. You can follow me at CrimeNat, KREIMNAT on Twitter for all the things. Although mostly I just retweet No Initiative stuff and retweet people who talk about disability better than me, because people are better than me. That's me. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It's been a treat. And I would also like to show a special thanks to Sam today for being the ever-flowing fountain of adorableness, because this is a real Row episode, and I really fucking loved it.
Well,
Was
thank
the
you
best.
all. You gave them the best birthday.
Oh.
Thank you for making my 13th birthday so good. I love all of you.
Stage right, followed by bear.
We love all of you so much. We'll see you on Monday.
Bye.